On this dim military training ground, Zhang Zili falls more times than a pancake, but he's still keen to catch up with female General Wu Jijin, with a nose as red as a ripe tomato. His eyes brimmed with sorrow, his soul seemed to flee into darkness, the radio music receded like distant years. Zhang Zili hesitated, but he quickly caught up, darkness enveloping them like a burrito. In a moment of splendor, he pinned the woman down, heart racing like a drum. He knew the killer was close, but for now, he went for that kiss. That kiss grew hotter, and Wu Jijin, who had been wide-eyed and looking around, closed her eyes. She feared Xiao Wang would know, darkness, an uninvited thief. Wu Jijin, posing as the trainer's boss, shouted from a distance. However, the warmth amidst their embrace didn't fade in the icy cold. The two huddled in the taxi, still embracing passionately. That passion made Zhang Zili drop his vigilance, missing a train behind. Truck driver's face glowed eerily under the dim streetlight, with ice skates draped over his chest. No one could tell which figure he was from the rink. The taxi drove to the cinema. When the driver got out, he found Xiao Wang tailing him. His vigilance surpassed Zhang Zili's, leading Xiao Wang into a dark alley. They turned slowly in front of the camera, only to discover it was Liang Jiajun, who had been cut into 8 pieces 4 years ago. He came back to life as a suspect, eerily calm, asking if the handcuffs could be moved forward. Xiao Wang didn't think much of it and made the call after adjusting the cuffs, only to have his sympathy rewarded with hellish torment. At the very instant when Xiao Wang was negligent, Liang Jiajun had already seized hold of the ice skates, and Zhang Zili did not halt his actions despite Xiao Wang's disappearance. He came to Xiao Wang's car for clues and saw a note with KF 295, the license plate Xiao Wang noted while tailing the truck last night. After checking all clues, he only found one bus. It was because Xiao Wang misremembered a number in the dark last night. Hoping for luck, Zhang Zili still boarded the bus, squeezed into the crowd, and unexpectedly ran into the man again, whose ice skates hung prominently as they crossed paths at the wrong stop. Zhang Zili remained oblivious. He got off at his stop, and the man followed, but Zhang just thought he was a regular passenger. It wasn't until he entered a restaurant and looked up to see the glowing yellow ice skates that he realized the killer was right in front of him. Remembering the body photos butchered by ice skates, Zhang Zili knew he had to keep his cool. He put down his hot food, left the restaurant, and headed to it. The dance hall was alive with blinking lights and vibrant energy. He finally pinpointed the man's address and had been tailing him for days. He found out his living situation, that he drove ice. Zhang Zili didn't know his old friend's body lay under those ice tables. Today was the day the man planned to dump the body. He trudged along carrying a bag in the snow while Zhang Zili covertly followed him to the train bridge. He stopped abruptly, crouched down, and saw the man tie the rope to reveal body parts. Zhang Zili peeked quietly and found the body dumping secret. Subtitles: trains north and south swiftly move a body across the city. That's the secret of distant body disposal. The train's roar echoed, awakening Zhang Zili. He followed the man to the rink, urging the announcer to call the familiar dead's name. Comrade Liang Jiajun of the dispatch. Comrade Liang Jiajun of the ice rink. Comrade Liang Jiajun. Someone's looking for you. Zhang Zili wasn't trying to trap Liang Jiajun, he just wanted his own body to find his soul. Zhang Zili wasn't trying to catch Liang Jiajun, he was setting a trap while making sure the skaters kept gliding along. A man sprinted outside the rink without looking back. Zhang Zili targeted him and ran. Send skates. Unfortunately, he slipped on ice, helplessly watching Liang Jiajun run away. The truth emerged, confirming Xiao Wang's death. A new officer named Li arrived at the police station. He wasn't close like Xiao Wang or Zhang Zili, and certainly didn't share progress updates. Listening to Zhang Zili's animated storytelling, he felt more like an observer, while Wu Jijin was also brought back. However, she insisted on seeing Zhang Zili first, otherwise she wouldn't say a word. Thus Zhang Zili got another chance at the case. Last time in the car's back, the air was tense. Now it had morphed into an interrogation, where Zhang Zili began to share his deductions, noting how trains could transport bodies across cities overnight. When drivers were distracted, body parts could be thrown into the carriage at stops. Drivers unknowingly completed the gruesome task of disposing corpses. Liang Jiajun was one such stop handler. This is just a facade to hide the truth. The real killer, Liang Jiajun, stood there, disguising himself flawlessly after the murder. Subtitles: tears trickled down Wu Jijin's face as the thick curtain was drawn back on those long-buried, painful memories amidst this struggle of the human heart. Back then, he was scared to death, and yet he came up with a brilliant plan ensuring you would never find him. Unfortunately, he tricked all of you, but he himself could never go back again. Decades passed, and everything became untraceable. To survive, Liang Jiajun lost his own identity. He lost his duty as a husband yet continued to relish the rights of one. For years, he lurked around Wu Zhizhen like a shadow. Whenever another man drew close, he would deal with them one by one, chopping them into pieces. He wanted to escape, 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 yet he couldn't break free. He couldn't tell anyone, terrified of losing his life in the process. Little did Liang Jiajun know, his wife had already connected with the cops. They arrived at a tiny motel, where he sensed he was exposed and thought about escaping to dodge the heat. He desperately needed money, but handed all his savings to the woman, leaving them both speechless. The water in the restroom dripped rhythmically as Liang Jiajun just wanted to escape those hands. He hit the window, thinking he could escape now if he went down. But when his husband suggested buying cigarettes, the silent husband broke the silence and softly replied,